I always remember the morning of 9/11, being in my office, getting the news that something had happened in New York, turning the television on, calling in my fellow officers, and watching as the plane hit the second building. We decided right then that the Knights of Columbus had to do something to help. And from the Supreme Council, the very next day, we established a program that we called the Heroes Fund.
And so what we did was create a fund, eventually more than $1.25 million, to help the families of the men and women in the police and fire and emergency response units who died that day in the line of duty.
We knew that many of those families would be in need of immediate assistance. Insurance, government aid, and other programs would take weeks, months, maybe even years to reach these families. But through our network of agents, we were able to begin to deliver checks to the families of deceased firemen and policemen, rescuers, beginning that same Friday.
God was present in the many police officers, firefighters, and rescue workers who went into that building. Greater love than this has no man than to lay down his life for one's friend. And many of those people were not friends, but they gave of themselves. And I think that's really what the Knights are doing also. The creation of the Heroes Fund is really a response from the Knights of Columbus of what they're really based on, living out the gospel of love.
Many of the first responders were members of the Knights of Columbus. Among them was Captain Al Fuentes.
On a fateful day of 9/11, I was the acting battalion chief of the FDNY Marine Division. And I survived. There's no doubt that I am a different person from that morning till today. I know that when I raise my flag, it's in memory of all my friends that died on 9/11. What I have been given is another chance in life. I have come to understand what giving is all about. I need to, and I will give back. It is what the Knights of Columbus have always shown me for 38 years. And that's why I'm a member of the Knights of Columbus.
As in World War I and II, after 9/11, the Knights of Columbus once again rallied to support the men and women who defend their country. Strong supporters of the Archdiocese for Military Services, the Knights have also printed and distributed more than 500,000 prayer books and provided spiritual support to chaplains and soldiers on the battlefield.
Knights of Columbus, with the Catholic chaplains, have to provide spiritual assistance in a wartime situation, which means trying to meet the needs of Catholics who might be spread out in a country like Afghanistan in numerous small bases, trying to respond to their needs even though they're under fire or they're under attack. Certainly in Iraq, the presence of the Knights was very evident. I visited at least 2 councils there in Baghdad, both of which were the backbones of the Catholic community there. Obviously, it is a war situation, and so the support that the Brother Knights give to each other, and also the spirit that they infuse in their whole unit, immediately becomes apparent.
When I got to Afghanistan, one of our members, his home council, sent several hundred pair of sweatpants, because Bagram has a huge hospital there, and the soldiers would come in with their uniforms cut off or blown off or whatever, and so they could have something comfortable to be in while they were in the hospital. Our home council really worked hard to gather, I think it was well over 500 school supply sets, which included notebooks, pencils, erasers, markers. We were able to distribute these school supplies out to hundreds of little kids. At the heart of what a soldier does is service, and charitable service is also what's at the heart of the Knights and in the Catholic faith.